very special place.
Premier Alison Redford waits her turn to speak at the launch of a new child advocacy centre in Calgary.
Introduce the Premier of the province of Alberta, the Honourable Alison Redford.
It's one of dozens of speeches she has made in the 6 months since her surprise victory of the Progressive Conservative leadership. Like most speeches, Redford emphasizes how things are getting better in Alberta.
There's an awful lot of issues that we need to deal with in a province like this.
You've had one heck of a month.
While this is an event about children, many in the media are here to talk about the upcoming election.
But I'll tell you that from my perspective, once we're going to the polls, we're going to talk about what Albertans want the future of this province to be. We're going to talk about their optimism, economic development, education and healthcare. And I think once we engage in that and we talk about the future and get people thinking about what they want this province to be about, we're going to be just fine.
For more than a year straight, the 47-year-old lawyer, wife, and mother has talked about little else than her vision for Alberta.
And Alison Redford,
including a divisive leadership campaign that casts her as an outsider within her own party, with only a single supporter inside caucus and as an agent for change within the 41-year political dynasty.
What a great night for our party. In 2 weeks, Alberta will choose a new leader. I am the candidate that will deliver that change that Albertans have told us that they want.
Redford's road to this election has been rocky, lurching from one controversy to another in recent weeks.
I haven't broken any promises. I'm not pushing anything back.
There are criticisms she didn't keep her promise for a full judicial health care inquiry, accusations of government bullying, and backlash to her proposed .05 impaired driving law. Then there's the so-called do-nothing committee that got paid but did not meet.
We're going to clear this mess up, and we're going to do it in a transparent way with independent advice.
At the same time, polls suggest party popularity is slipping. Nearly 24 MLAs won't be seeking re-election, including 2 surprise defections in recent weeks. Redford shrugs it all off.
I feel very confident. I mean, I've been the leader for 6 months. I walked into a caucus 6 months ago, as we know, coming out of a leadership where I had 1 member of caucus supporting me. In fact, I would say this week we are a stronger caucus now than we've ever been since I was leader, and we're looking forward to the election.
Last August, we spent a few hours with then-candidate Redford at an amusement park along with her daughter, just to get to know her.
All right, stick my head out.
46-year-old Redford has been sticking her head out a lot. The first-term MLA is the only female candidate in the Tory leadership race. Her political career includes 3 years as Provincial Justice Minister and Attorney General. As a lawyer, she was senior advisor to Prime Minister Joe Clark, with her legal work taking her to Africa, Asia, and Europe, including a UN assignment overseeing Afghanistan's first parliamentary elections.
My very first job is when I was 13, and I worked at the Dairy Queen on Fairmont Drive in Willow Park in Calgary. And it was an ice cream only store, so we didn't do hamburgers or anything like that, and it was only open from May to the end of September. So it was a great job. It was 3 blocks from my house, and I had 2 or 3 after school shifts a week and then worked on the weekend, and it was where everybody came for ice cream after baseball and high school football matches. I remember having to practice making the swirl on the top of the Dairy Queen ice cream cone, because you were never allowed to serve a Dairy Queen ice cream cone that didn't have the swirl. And then the big pressure was if the ice cream was at all soft and you had to dip it in the chocolate coating, and there were a lot of people in line, which is usually when the store got warm and the ice cream got soft, and everybody would see you dump the ice cream and it would fall off the cone. And it was quite mortifying for a 13-year-old.
Now, there's a lot of factors.
Shortly after becoming Premier, Redford met with Herald editors.
You know what I've learned in 35 days? Everything's a priority.
The most important thing that I think about is every day when mums and dads wake up across this province.
Redford speaks often about ethics and values, integrity and honor. Critics accuse her government of quick political fixes, like restoring education cuts or the recent pay hikes for doctors. The Premier addressed that in a year-end interview with political reporters.
You know, I think that one of the things that happens when you get into public life like this is that people try to pigeonhole you, and they try to do it not only for political purposes, that's one of the reasons that they do it, but the other is because people want to be able to say, okay, now I can look at this person, this leader, and know exactly who they are and what they do in absolutely every circumstance. And I've never been like that as a person, and I'm not going to be like that as a leader and as premier. Part of it is the issues in Alberta are complicated issues, and the other thing is that I think I pretty much represent, I hope I do, and you know, it's continuing exercise, where Albertans are looking to go. Albertans are essentially fiscally conservative. They want a strong fiscal plan. They want to make sure that we're developing long-term policy, growing the economy, and we can do all of that.
And I hope that we all leave today thinking about the future and the past. Thank you.
With files from James Wood, Darcy Henton, and Chris Varco, Rick Donkers, CalgaryHerald.com.